Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite part-time YouTuber, Crow, and I want to talk to you about two of the most just shocking and disgusting things that we heard from Dogpack404's latest video. Now, the video was not like the first one. It's entirely an interview, a one-on-one conversation between himself and Jake Weddle, who's another former crew member who is breaking his silence on some of the absolutely just depraved things that Jimmy has been doing. Now, I'm not going to play Dogpack404's video here. One, I encourage you to watch it yourself, but also we'll be going through it live on Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern. Check my channel for that. But I really just want you to hear the story from Jake's own words, right? Because he gets intensely emotional when he is talking about the things that Jimmy had done to him in a challenge that was never aired on his channel because Jake had a mental break from what they had done. Now, we have the text messages here between Jake from that time, just talking about some of the stuff. But essentially, Jake was told that, hey, you know, spend one day in a prison, we pay you $10,000. The idea was they were going to claim it was 100 days, but they only wanted him to do it for 30. And he had his mental break at day 10. Now, the idea of the facility, it looked nice on the surface, but in reality, nothing was being cleaned out. So there was an intense odor that started to last within the first couple of days. But also, somebody had thought that it would be a funny idea to not turn off the lights the entire time the guy was in the cell. That is actual sleep deprivation, right? And when you deprive somebody of sleep, it actually causes intense psychological trauma, especially if you're doing it over the course of like longer than a week. In fact, when I heard this story, it reminded me of something, okay? This is another video on MrBeast's channel. Now, this stuff took place back in 2021, so we're talking about 3 years ago. This took place 7 months ago, and it was MrBeast talking about, I spent 7 days in solitary confinement. This is what he had done to Jake. So I don't believe MrBeast actually kept himself in the room for the 7 days because of what it had done to the other person that he put into the room for 10 days. But he was specifically in this video going on and talking about how, oh, I can't sleep and I'm going crazy. And I'm like, it sounds like this absolutely just inhumane sociopath was riffing on the trauma that he had inflicted onto another person. And because he thought it would be funny, he thought it would be good content. And it was. People laughed. People thought this was great, you know, because it wasn't actually happening to Jimmy. Jimmy just knew what he had done to another human being and decided to just copy it. This man is sick. Like, he's absolutely sick. But that's not even the worst of it. But again, please give your support over to Jake Weddle. Subscribe to his channel because the stuff that he revealed to people, he is going to get like absolutely attacked by MrBeast and his legal team, because we already saw what they did to Dogpack404 on the first video. He's hired 2 separate law firms to issue out cease and desist letters over to Dogpack404, and this guy's revealing stuff that is like purely confidential from the MrBeast crew. So support him, do what you can to support him, because like I said, you gotta watch the video. You'll hear it in his voice. The guy starts breaking down as he's talking multiple times. Now, this is the one that blew my mind, okay? Because, you know, we've been talking about the Chris Tyson situation. We've been talking about how, you know, Jimmy was in the Discord server now. He was engaging with minors on that Discord server. That, like, he only left that Discord server after it had been cleaned up. And now we know that he actually had Shadman's art in his own home. The same one that he was trying to, like, edit out of his other videos. The one that Chris Tyson had owned. But this story is insane. So this guy on the left here, all right, apparently he's somebody that was known on the MrBeast crew as Delaware. And the reason why he's known as Delaware, according to the crew, was because he wasn't legally allowed in Delaware. And that should tell you enough that there was at least some idea that this guy had a sketchy past, right? His sketchy past is that in April 21st of 2010, he was put on the sex offender registry because he had committed 4th-degree sexual assault on a child no older than 11 years old. Now, I was in Dogpack404's video during the premiere. I was watching the live stream. The guy had over 125,000 people watching. And it was a mix, right? You had some people in there spamming their support for Jimmy. But when this information came up, that Jimmy had hired a registered sex offender offender, someone that assaulted a child that was no older than 11 years old, the primary audience range, right, for MrBeast audience, they were still spamming W MrBeast. They were still talking about how this was a W for MrBeast. And I was like actually physically disgusted. And I'm not kidding when I say physically disgusted. I stopped the video a couple times because I was like, this is getting to that point where I'm losing it. I'm getting like actually angry. And I've told people this before. I've talked about it before. Members of my family, when they were young, when they were at this fucking age range, they were assaulted. I don't think it's a joke. I don't. I'm not going to tolerate it from anybody who wants to make light of it, who wants to pretend that like this isn't such a big deal. I'm not doing that. I'm being dead clear. Like I won't tolerate it on my channel either. Because I've had the MrBeast groupies see my videos or see my live streams and want to come in and start, talking shit. I'm definitely not putting up with it on this one. This is so far over the line because not only was he employed, right? Like maybe you want to say, oh, he was just a staff member. He was a random guy. He just worked for us for a little bit of time. Then we found out, then we got rid of him. One, I would ask what the fuck you mean? Because you're not running background checks on people? Could there be other people that are on the sex offender registry working at your company right now and you just, dodo brain have no idea what's going on? But you can't even make that excuse. You can't even say that because it's not true. You literally had him in your fucking videos wearing a goddamn mask to hide who he was. I honestly thought we were seeing like some of the worst of MrBeast already. And no disrespect to Jake Weddle, but even the stuff about how he mistreats people, causes them psychological trauma, physically harms them, right? We're finding out a lot of that stuff from the Beast games and the people that are coming out, the former contestants going like, this is bad, people were physically harmed, yada yada. Like we're getting all that from the Beast game stuff, right? But like this, knowing that he had hired a registered sex offender and not only hired him, was featuring him in videos. What's the excuse to this? Well, Crow, it's okay. Nobody actually knew about it because he put a mask on. Are you insane? Chris Tyson's Discord server had people from the MrBeast crew in it. Was the guy who had assaulted a child no older than 11 years old? Was he in that Discord server? Did he get an invite from Chris Tyson? Did you guys even think about it? Everybody on the MrBeast crew has easy access to children, and you brain damaged motherfuckers hired a registered sex offender and put him in the fucking videos. I can't. Like I physically cannot with this one. I hesitate to say that I thought that we'd see the absolute lowest of MrBeast. And the fact that Dogpack's got a part 3 here, like I don't know how you top hiring a registered sex offender and featuring him in your content, but you did it. You did it proudly. I checked that video. You got plenty of damn views on that video. By the way, I assume that's going to be the next video that gets taken down by MrBeast now. Wouldn't surprise me. What's his response to everything that's been going on? Purge comments, edit the videos where people saw the Shadman art, unlist videos, start making things private. It wouldn't surprise me if tomorrow we see this video is unlisted now, or it's private, or it's deleted, because that's how MrBeast is handling this situation. Just quietly start deleting shit. Just delete it. Pretend we never did it. And then people will think that it never happened because it's not on my channel anymore. That's how Jimmy is handling this stuff. I don't care. I absolutely don't care. I don't care that he's already been fired. I literally don't care. Especially not when Jake is also saying, listen, there were a lot of rumors that people on set had been fired for, touching children. Was this guy one of them? Did this guy touch a child on a MrBeast set and they quietly fired him? They didn't report him to the police so he could go back into fucking prison? What the absolute fuck was Jimmy thinking? I don't think he was thinking anything at all. Like, I don't know what it is, but he is surrounded by people that seem to have very, very perverse predilections towards children. He seems to be putting himself into situations where he's engaged inappropriately with minors, or in an area where minors are being engaged with inappropriately. So what is it? Is he just a sociopath? He just literally doesn't give a shit? Or is Jimmy into this stuff? Who the fuck hires a registered sex offender? Did you think that he had changed his ways? You wanted to give the file a second chance, Jimmy, because he's just such a goddamn nice guy. MrBeast's YouTube channel should be fucking banned. Come at me, say freedom of speech, yada yada, I don't care. I'm done with people who harm children, who put children into dangerous situations. I am done with the inhumane treatment of the people that work for this guy. This dude is an absolute disgrace, not as a content creator, but I mean as a goddamn human being. Go ahead, tell me W, MrBeast. Show what a shameless, nutless little person you are. Sometimes you have to take a moral stance, and sometimes that means that people are going to fall far short of it, and you have to condemn them. You have to call them out, and you can't sit there and be a goddamn coward like Keemstar and pretend that they, by the fucking way, since we're already on the subject, how disgusting is it? All this stuff we're finding out about MrBeast. Now we find out that MrBeast had the Shadman art. We have Keemstar sucking his fucking nut. The same guy he's sucking off bought the same fucking art from the same artist that drew Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter. But I guess at the end of the day, making sure that Drama Alert stays prosperous and Keemstar stays an quote-unquote icon on the YouTube hemisphere, I guess that matters more than his 8-year-old daughter ever did. You fucking creeps. You absolute disgusting people. I am wow. Absolutely wow. Good on everybody on this one. But my goodness, my goodness. I want Jimmy to do what Jimmy does best. Hide in a fucking hole and try to take down any video that features that guy with the mask on. You know why? Because all that's going to tell me is you absolutely fucking knew, and you're a fucking coward, and you're definitely afraid, and you absolutely should be afraid. I really hope they come after you. I hope the FTC comes after you. I hope there are federal investigations into your illegal lotteries towards fucking children. I hope that they destroy your goddamn life because you absolutely deserve it.